Unilever.
Subscribe now. There are different types of memory, short-term and long-term, and the brain stores them in different places. Short-term memory is good for just a few minutes. If someone gives you a 7-digit telephone number to call, you store that information in short-term memory. Most of us will have forgotten it an hour later. The storage of information in short-term memory is limited in capacity and time. Long-term memory stores things you remember for a year, 5 years, 10 years, or a lifetime. If short-term memories are practiced often enough, they turn into long-term memories. That's the reason most people know their social security number by heart. They have written it down or practiced it often enough. The brain's hippocampus is essential to taking information from short-term memory and putting it into long-term memory. Some scientists believe that long-term memories are maintained by stable and permanent neural connections widely spread throughout the whole brain. One of the main functions of sleep is the consolidation of information. The hippocampus replaces information from that day and speeds it along to long-term memory. Memory loss is the most common cognitive impairment in people with severe head injuries, including loss of specific memories and partial inability to form or store new ones. Their long-term memory tends to be alright. They will say to their doctor, "I can remember something that happened 10 years ago in great detail, but I can't recall something from 10 minutes ago." It is common for brain-injured people to forget events that occur right before, during, and right after the injury. The temporary loss is caused by the brain swelling, which presses the brain against the inside of the skull. Memory usually returns when the swelling goes down. So why do these injuries affect short-term memory? It has to do with how the brain processes information. Information from our senses go through a filtering process, sort of like how mail is sorted at the post office. When the brain is injured, the areas that do the processing can get pressed or squeezed due to swelling. When this happens, a large amount of information and sensory data coming into brain does not get processed. The information is not sent to the right places. The mailroom of the brain can't do its job. The brain can also have another type of memory problem. Once data is stored in the brain, it has to be able to retrieve it. But the brain can have a problem retrieving stored information. We have all had this type of problem, but in a brain-injured person, it is much worse. You meet someone on the street, you know who they are, but can't quite come up with their name. A few minutes or hours later, you recall their name. The brain has been searching and trying to retrieve that bit of information. For people with brain damage, retrieval of information may be difficult or impossible because the connections have been permanently lost. Most brain injuries are caused by car accidents, motorcycle or bicycle accidents, and falls around the house, but recently we're hearing about head injuries to our soldiers who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan from those improvised explosive devices. Also, there is now a lot of concern about brain damage in football, where head-to-head collision can cause concussions, confusions, drowsiness, nausea, disorientation, lack of coordination, and slurred speech, in addition to long-term effects. But still, most researchers agree that the study of human mind is in its infancy. It is an exciting area of study and there's much to learn.